feel like the internet give you the act.
Man, welcome back to another episode of the Think Successfully Room. This is a platform where we focus on building mindsets, we building character, bringing value to both you and your people, and aligning your body with your motherfucking intelligence. I am your host, QB So Effing Amazing. And man, we got another special guest right here on the Think Successfully Room, y'all. Mr. Gabe, Gizz, man. How you feeling, God?
Feeling good, man. Appreciate you having me.
Man. Appreciate you for slide, man.
For sure.
Man, before we go into what we was just talking about prior to shooting, man, what's going on with the music, bro? You still music? You still?
Oh yeah. So I'm kind of glad you asked. I'm going through a rebranding right now. So
Okay.
I'm just kind of like I've been making music for a while, and I kind of wanted to. I still love making music, but I wanted to fall in love with. Make the whole process of making music again and being an artist, and I wanted to change my name, so I'm going by another thing in the. I read in a book, when people do the name change during like a ritual or like a ceremony, it's like, like a new beginning. You know what I'm saying? So I changed my name to Oluwabenga, and that's my new rap name. That's my new music name, Oluwabenga or Benga. People can call me Benga.
If you don't mind me asking, where you come up with that name?
So that's the name my mom called me. That's my middle name. And the reason why I chose that name is because it's the most relevant. It's the most relevant name to me. It's the most appropriate name that fits me, like that represents me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that it would resonate a more profound frequency than the name that I was using before, which was Gabe Gizz. And I had that name for since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a kid no more. So,
Right. Man, that's understandable, man. I ain't gonna lie. When I first came across your music, was in I think that was it 2012? You dropped Dreams in the Zombie.
Yeah.
That man, bro, you was different, bro.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. When I first heard your shit, I'm like, yeah, he fired, man. I thought you was finna go crazy. I thought you was finna blow up with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, me too. I think that's like the beauty behind it though, because I always think like, man, like that project was so good. Like, what if I blew up? I think like, man, you probably be dead or broke or anything, because like I had to go through the process. I had to go through the life lessons of, everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people blow up real quick and then they be gone forever. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's a fact, man. That's a fact, man.
I kind of just had to enjoy the process a little bit, and I think I learned a lot more valuable lessons in the time period, so that when, as I continue on, what I'm saying, I could apply them and not make mistakes that other people normally make. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's a big one, man. Cause was you 18 when you made that?
Yeah,
man. So that's what's important, right? Is the fact that, what I'm saying, you go through, we all go through experiences, we all go through life lessons, and then you could come back to your craft and then apply the things that you have currently learned in your life. Right. And to make the craft better.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a big one, man. And then it was the Young and Wealthy. Was that on that album after that?
That was on I think it was Young World Order. That was the one that dropped, I think, the year after that.
Yeah, man. Man, it's only because a lot of people, when we drop these episodes, when they see, because the last episode we had Blaze on here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So when Blaze came through, they looked at the podcast as a platform to where rappers can go and sit into, just talk about whatever. But really, I only really had a handful of artists that I really want to bring on this platform. Right. You know what I'm saying? If I reached out to you, it's really because I felt like you had some type of value that I feel would better the platform. You know what I'm saying? So Blaze was the first one that I was thinking of. Then I was thinking like, okay, I'm gonna reach out to Gabe. You know what I'm saying? Then I reach out to I think it was Legend.
Right.
And then I'll probably try to reach out to Aquez and see if it's possible to get them on here. But other than that, y'all really like the only ones. I'm like, man, I'm gonna reach out to these guys and see if we can get them on here.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, bro. So when it come to reading, how many books you would say you read in a week?
So, as of recently, I started reading like multiple books at a time. You know what I'm saying? Before I would like dedicate myself to like knocking one book out at a time. You know what I'm saying? But I figured I retain more information when I give myself a break from a book, and then I can read more books faster when I'm reading multiple at a time. So, last year I read like 30 books, probably.
Man, congrats on that, bro. And the reason why I say congrats is because a lot of people our age don't, they don't read one book within you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think books is a cheat code.
It is.
Cause like it's like weightlifting for your brain. You know what I'm saying? And the way that I can articulate my thoughts, my feelings, my ideas, because I've weightlifted with my brain so much recently. I think it gives me an advantage when it comes to like being social, when it comes to doing business or just being interacting with humans, because I don't know if my brain is working faster or it's just I have more control over the processes that my brain is taking nowadays. And then being an artist, writing music, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You have to be somewhat of a good reader and writer to be a good, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say you have to, because there's some people that, are just talented, you know what I'm saying? But to be really, really great, like, I think Jay-Z reads a lot of books, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you could kind of hear it in the music. And, these people that are really, 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 really smart, that make music, you could kind of tell, like Kendrick, and just J. Cole, like you could just kind of tell in the quality of the music, these people are just more wholesome,
I normally could tell by a person's vocabulary.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the fact of the substance of the music as well tell you a person's knowledge,
right,
and how educated they are. Because me personally, reading helped me, just picking up a book, period, just helped me view the world different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah.
So, that's why I get more of a kick out of, instead of me sitting here, because I look at TV as propaganda. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I look at it as information that's not necessarily good for the mind. So in order for me to see the world for what it is and see what's to come, I have to read the information that's put inside of the book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you. Recently, you probably noticed I haven't really been posting much lately.
Nah, I ain't noticed that.
But I've been like off of social media because I had an epiphany one day. I was looking at somebody that I look up to, and I was like, man, he probably don't even be knowing what's going on in the world. He probably be in his own world. Like, he don't be on social media, because if he posts anything, it probably be his team or some shit. He don't be on social media. I just looked at that individual. I was like, man, he don't be on social media. That's why he think the way he think, like.
Man, bro, I got a question for you, bro. I'm just curious to your response. Do you feel social media kind of drives us away from our purpose?
1,000%. I think that I was explaining to my homie the other day that like we all drugged with this shit. It's like drugs, you know what I'm saying? We all addicted to bells and whistles and notifications and shit, like animals. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. Like a cat or
like a cat or a dog, you know what I'm saying? And then not only that, but like when you bored, when you let your mind wander, that's where your individuality and the creativity come from. That's where it comes from. When I hop on social media and I see everybody else's ideas, it's like it squeezes out any room for my own original thought. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of stepped back from it for a little bit and just I've been, just kind of embracing being in the moment, being in real life in my actual environment, and just kind of like embracing that, because that's where like these great ideas come from. Like I go on a walk every morning. It's like a 5-mile walk. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much no matter the weather. You know what I'm saying?
Man, bro, do you got man, bro, I'm not sure if you got. Do you got any introspection cards?
Engineer, what's that?
Introspection is pretty much allowing you to examine your thoughts, your feelings, and ideas. So I got introspection cards. It's about 81 introspection cards that gives you a task for the next 81 days, right? And it comes with a booklet that corresponds to each card.
Okay.
So when you go on those walks, you supposed to go on the walk for that. So you take a card with you every morning when you go on the walk with that one introspection card, and whatever that particular card tells you to do, you just jot down your feelings on the corresponding page. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna send you that link when we wrap this up, bro, so you can tune in with that.
That'd be cool. I'll be definitely interested in checking that out.
Yeah. So you don't get on social media at all?
No, not to say that. I deleted them all off my phone. So I don't got no social media apps on my phone. Like, if I do want to go on my phone, I got to do that Safari, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you don't even want to be on there after, it be moving all slow and shit, So, like, I just stepped away from it, and now instead of, like, being bored scrolling, I'd be like, you know what, let me knock out that book, or let me work on this little artwork. Let me, I don't know. I just feel like, if you have a direction that you want to go in your life, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be like going out here, straining your every muscle and every bit of energy to try, but you can make small little efforts to, small little strides to get where you see yourself being, you know what I'm saying? And I think that, the one thing that I noticed about social media is, you on that bitch for 10 minutes, and the next thing you know, it's been an hour.
Man.
It's been 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
man.
Damn, like yesterday, I purposely was like, like, I got this little ritual where it's like, I get my workout, I spend my body spiritual time in the morning. I work on my, what make me money during the daytime, and then afterwards, I work on my music. I work on a little brand that I got going. You know what I'm saying? And then after I work on all those things, I give myself a little bit of time to, have some leisure. You know what I'm saying?
But you make sure all the productivity is over with.
Yeah. And I don't look at it as work. I just look at it as like time blocks of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
I just look at it as like, okay, during this time block, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I call that, man, a man that's able to eliminate distractions from his world and just his environment. I call that a nigga that's tapping into his godliness, man.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it, man.
Yeah, I agree. That's where God exists, bro. Like, when you can cancel out all the noise, and you could kind of just, like, we always be praying to God. People be praying to God, trying to talk to God, but don't nobody be listening.
Facts.
Don't nobody be just quiet. Like, I love my walks. I used to go on the walks in the morning with the headphones and listen to books, and that's cool. I recommend that. But lately, I've been going no headphones, no nothing, letting the birds chirp, just like,
you gotta hear it.
Like just taking deep breaths, focusing on my breathing, and being really right there in the moment while I'm going for the walks. And that's when I get the best ideas.
Man, bro, I think that's because when you actually listening to what's going on, bro, that's you tapping into the universe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I just heard the hardest shit. It was like, yo, if the product is free, then you're the product. And social media is free. I mean, now they get niggas to pay to be the product.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you not, like, I don't think people realize how valuable your attention is. It's a form of currency, for real. You know what I'm saying? Your attention is everything. Like, imagine, like, someone that would kill for your attention and you just sitting there ignoring them. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they would pay money to get your attention at that point. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the same thing that's happening with these social media. And, a lot of it is targeted, stuff that's not necessarily trying to align with your purpose in life. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that it's important to, like, protect that. Protect your attention and give it out sparingly. Like, don't be a whore with your attention. Don't let every and anything just catch your attention, you know, be locked in.
Man, I feel like, man, people got to stop making themselves too accessible, man. I think, you know, social media has did a very good job with carving our lifestyle, with carving our lives, because it you know what I'm saying, like you said, it aimed towards you thinking this is how you supposed to live instead of you actually figuring out shit on your own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's also why it's beneficial to you know, move towards eliminating social media, because it actually allows you to find your character.
Yeah, because, I mean, everything in social media is a facade. Like, I'm not going to post that picture with, you know, the booger in my nose. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to post the 15th one that I took that looked the best.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, you thinking, like, damn, this bitch bad as hell. Like, he looked good and they life looked like it's the shit. Like, you don't even know he just got done beating her ass. Like,
oh, God.
You don't even know, like, she just got done, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's important to really just know what you want. And with me, I noticed that, like I said before, like I seen a nigga that I admire. I was like, man, this nigga don't be in this world. He don't be getting lost in folk. He don't give his time and energy to this world like the rest of us do, and that's the difference. How much more time in your day do you have for yourself when, you know, when you're not on social media, when you're not looking at what everybody else is doing, when you know what I'm saying? It's really
Facts.
It's really powerful, man. Like,
man, and it taps into. Man, I should have changed the lights on because it's really a hot topic we on right now. You know what I'm saying? You know, social media also taps into your lower animal too, man. You know what I'm saying? As far as just the women, man, like it really throws us off our game, because that's 90% of social media is women in bikinis or lingerie or something like that.
Yeah, so like I read this book the other day. It was real short. It was about it's called the Essenes and their initiations. You know what I'm saying? And the Essenes were a group of spiritual people back in the time of like Jesus and, you know, like beginning of this, you know, the beginning of the modern era or whatever they would call it, you know what I'm saying? And it's interesting because it kind of states that like Jesus wasn't like this special, you know, person sent down and more special than you or me, you know. Yes, Jesus had a purpose or whatever, but Jesus came from a community of individuals of like thinkers.
That's a fact.
And he got people still talking about Jesus 2,000 years ago, but 2,000 years later, but he comes from a community of like-minded thinkers that went through these initiations. And one of the initiations Jesus went through was, you know what I'm saying, they threw him in a tomb. And they threw him in a tomb for months. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even know how long he was in there. And, you know, eventually, you know, he was so bored that his senses, like, he went beyond his senses. He went beyond his physical senses and he started seeing invisible molecule. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but he started, you know, and then after that, you know what I'm saying, after he passed that initiation, they brought in this beautiful woman. And the beautiful woman was tempting Jesus like, yo, like, come with me because they're going to kill you. This is all a trap. And he was like, you know what, if they're going to kill me, let them kill me. This is, you know, I'm here doing higher work. And then, you know, once she found out he wasn't going, she was like, okay, well, you know, I want you to be with me. And if you don't be with me, I'm going to kill myself. And they're going to see that you killed me. They're going to think that you killed me. So what you going to do now? He's like, look, man, I'm not interested in that. I'm here for a higher purpose. You know what I'm saying? And then, this all is interesting because, you know, they had guards at the door and this woman came in through a secret door in the room. So all that the analogy of the story was that, you know, your passions come in through that secret door in your heart.
Oh, shit.
I thought that shit was so deep.
Hey, nigga, what's the name of that book?
It's called The Essenes and their initiations. I'll get you a link to it.
Yeah, after this
but it was super duper deep because it was like, yo, like, you know, our passions are kind of backdooring us through social media. Like, a lot of niggas struggle with women, a lot of niggas struggle with porn and you know, sexuality, and a lot of niggas struggle with drugs, and a lot of niggas struggle with, like, you know, money issues. Like, a nigga can't stop spending money, he can't say, you know, like, so when you hopping on social media, it's kind of like all these little things that you struggle with kind of backdooring you through this, you know, little, you know what I'm saying? So I think it is important. That's another reason why I wanted to, like, change my name and, you know, new social medias and shit like that, because I kind of want to be in control of who I'm letting into the universe now. You know, I want, you know, I kind of went through a phase of different, you know, transformations with Gabe Gizz, but some of them phases I'm not really proud of and doesn't really resonate with me right now. So I kind of want to control the narrative and, you know what I'm saying, do a new thing that you know, is completely outside of what everyone else is doing and the clout wars and shit like that that's going on, you know. And I think that's going to be more impactful, because I think more people are waking up to, like, you know, this bullshit ass, you know, shit that niggas want us to live in. Like, you know, this fake ass social media, Instagram, clout war, you know, war that is going on right now. Like, a lot of niggas is getting tired of trying to live up to that and trying to play that game, and people just like, you know what, I'm me. This is who I am. And this is what I want to be. I don't want to do that no more. I think a lot more people are moving in that direction. So I think that will become cool. You know what I'm saying? To be in real life, to be a real nigga, and not be some social media fairy tale. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that was an amazing explanation, bro. Yeah, I fuck with that shit, nigga. Man, I think, man, social media has definitely made it to where it's hard for us to really find what we are good at, right? Because we see, especially with the music, especially because Rockford got 1,001 different rappers. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit here and tell me that, you know what I'm saying, all 1,000 of y'all music was made for y'all to, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard for you to really find what you are skilled at, what you are good at, if you're trying to live somebody else's talent. You feel like this person is good at making music so that you can make it too. But you know what I'm saying? But by you doing that, it's steering you away from actually figuring out what you good at doing.
No, I agree. You know, I come from an era of, like, I wanted to be a rapper because I seen Wiz Khalifa and Currency, like, back in the day, like, the Wiz Khalifa inked my whole body. Like, I don't give a motherfucker that that Currency, you know, Smokey Robinson, you know, all that shit back in the day. Like, that's the era I come from, you know what I'm saying? And I come from, you know what I'm saying, like, the day-to-day vlogs from Wiz Khalifa that used to be on World Star Hip Hop, you know what I'm saying? Like, way back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool with just, like, you know, going around, meeting cool people and making music. You know, I think that a lot of people, you know, got it fucked up when the social media started portraying, like, all these, like, drug dealing ass niggas that's getting money that's also making music. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like an easy way out. It's like a cop out, because, like, it's easy to sell drugs. I mean, not saying it's easy to sell drugs, but I mean, it's a lot easier to sell drugs than to start a business and stick with it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, man, facts.
It's a lot easier to, you know what I'm saying, be a rapper than to, you know, be a scientist and, you know, get good grades in school and, you know, deal with, you know, all that shit, you know. So I think it's kind of like a cop-out, you know, and I think that they convinced a lot of people that it's more attainable than it really is. Because even me, like, I've been doing it for a while, you know, not saying I've been giving it my all for 10 years, but I've been doing it for a while. And, you know, if you're not, like, all in, like, if you not literally eat, sleep, breathing this shit, bro. Like, there's been times where I've been in LA and I'll go in there like I'm the greatest ever, and then there's a nigga that's not doesn't look as cool as me, doesn't have as much clout or friends or money or none of that than me, but the nigga is super talented and he worked way harder than I did, and he outshined me in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, and those moments was so humbling. Like, I've been in a studio with like big artists, and it's like, yo, you can get on this song with them, and then I choke. And then it's like,
hey, bro, you got to give me a story behind that shit.
Yeah,
man.
like,
hey.
you know what I mean? It's just like, you know what
Man.
you know what happened? It's like, you know, you're in LA and you know you think you that nigga, you doing drugs, you drinking, you partying, you know what I'm saying? While the other nigga that really, 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 really want this shit is working on his music. He literally, he ain't on that. And then when he go in the booth, his shit hit so much harder than your shit. And then you sitting here looking like, damn, like, that was supposed to be me. I'm the, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I had to go through moments like that. I needed those because it was like, yo, like, nigga, you don't want this shit like you think you want this shit. You want the shit you seeing on the social media, on the TV. You don't really want this shit.
But I'm sure them moments, though, made you want to go even harder, though. Everybody be needing them humbling moments.
Man, bro, like, I done had so many humbling moments, and I think that's why I'm still here.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm still, like, you know what? Like, because if you quit, then all that shit was for no reason.
No, man, bro, it's funny that you say that, man, because a lot of people, they say they want it bad. They say they want it bad, but the moment they run into somebody they feel is better than them or put them in their place in some way, they just drop everything and quit. You know what I'm saying? But see, only the strongest survive, though. In order for you to achieve what you want in life, you got to be willing to go through those processes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's the people that in the book that I was telling you about, in the book Chop Wood, Carry Water, it was talking about how the nigga that created Macy's, he bankrupted 7 businesses in a row.
Before he seen the success.
Before he made the successful one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, the nigga that made, like, people don't know, like, the nigga that started IKEA was selling matches, individual matches, door to door. He would go door to door and sell matches. Like, niggas want to be IKEA, but niggas don't want to sell matches.
Oh, that's powerful right there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I always, you know, and that's where I'm coming back to this grounded version of myself. It's like, yo, I still want to do music because I know my music could touch people all over the world. You know what I'm saying? I know that my music could take me all over the world. And that's what my true passion is, to, you know, go around the world and meet people and make music. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people had this idea of like, oh, I make music so I could get rich and I could take care of my family.
Yeah, they doing it for the wrong reasons.
They doing it for the wrong reason, and I was like that too for the longest. For the longest time, I had that in my heart, where it's like, yo, I just want to get successful so I could really take off on niggas, so I could really go crazy on niggas. Like, I already know I'm on, you know. But now it's just like the purpose is like, I really believe that like I could use my voice to bring the best out of people.
Oh God, you gotta really love what you gotta really love that shit, man.
Gotta love
you know
it.
what I'm saying? You gotta actually love it and do it for yourself.
And you gotta be able to, you gotta be proud to stand by your work. I think a lot of people that's, you know, once they come into this realization, like, they'll look at the music that they put out, like I did, and be like, ugh, that's filth. That's sludge. That's something I can't even be. I don't want my daughter listening to this in 10 years. I don't want my mother listening to this on her deathbed. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I think that's when you get to the point where you're willing to stand by your work for real. You know what I'm saying? That's when it all start falling into place too.
Man, bro, I fuck with you, bro. I could tell you read. I could tell you read a lot, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I do.
This right here was a fire conversation. You know what I'm saying? I honestly, bro, out of all the guests I done have on here, like, if it ain't a topic we know we coming into, I mean, like, actually sitting down, just genuinely chopping it up with somebody without a script, Bro, this probably was the best convo,
Awesome,
man.
bro. I
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
that.
Definitely,
Appreciate
man.
that.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, appreciate you
man.
having me,
Man,
bro.
don't let this be the last time you slide through, man.
For sure, bro.
Yeah, for sure,
come
for
on,
sure.
Make sure I get you them links too.
Yeah. Man, same with the introspection.
Yeah,
card.
I'm gonna check that out.
As a matter of fact, bro, before you head up out of here, bro, I'm gonna show you what they look like, because I got some in the back. Man, appreciate, man, Gabe, Gizz, man, real smart dude, man. We're gonna go ahead and close this out, y'all. Life is good. Life is wonderful. Be blessed to be alive. Self-sufficiency is how you survive. To the kings and queens, to the gods and goddess, forever and always, my nigga. Think successfully. Yeah.